Hi everyone, my name's Rob. I'm an ADHD coach and I thought I'd share some thoughts with you today about ADHD as it is ADHD month this October 2020. Despite what some friends, families and doctors would have us believe, ADHD does exist in adults. ADHD is a neurodevelopmental condition that basically means it impairs growth and development of the brain and or the central nervous system. But another way neurodevelopmental disorders are described is that they're a disorder of brain function that can affect emotion, learning ability, self-control and memory, and I'm sure most of us can relate this to ADHD. ADHD is estimated by some to be the most common adult psychiatric disorder affecting between 2 and 5% of the population in Australia. This means that more than 800,000 people in Australia are affected by ADHD. By and large, there are three forms of ADHD: hyperactive, inattentive, and combined. So hyperactive obviously is characterized by what most of us know as ADHD, where the person has an excess of energy and activity. Inattentive is usually difficulties with attention and focus, but not just demonstrating any of the hyperactivity, physical hyperactivity that is obvious in the hyperactive version. So the third version is a combined inattentive and hyperactive. So for many years, the focus was on diagnosing and obviously noticing the hyperactive version or form of ADHD because it was more obvious. And this meant that many were not diagnosed as children, especially those that had the inattentive form. So we find then many people who are diagnosed later in life, and that's happened for many people, myself included. So ADHD can affect our adult lives in many ways. It affects us financially, work-wise, our home, our relationships, our self-esteem, our health and longevity, and our susceptibility to addictions, and many more. But it affects almost every area of our life, or can affect almost every area of our life. It doesn't necessarily affect all of those for all people. When we consider all these effects it has on us, it's hard to manage it, hard enough to manage it when we have a diagnosis, and in my opinion can be even harder when we don't have a diagnosis, which has happened to quite a number of people. When we aren't diagnosed, we don't know what to do to fix it. Sometimes when we are diagnosed, we don't necessarily know what to do to manage, sorry, not fix, but manage our ADHD. And it ends up resulting in us feeling shame and blaming ourselves because of the ways we don't fit in, or the ways we don't measure up, or the ways that we just don't seem to be good enough in different avenues of our lives. And we're often told if we just try harder, if we just do this, if we just do something else, that it would be okay. And that results in us sort of internalizing the difficulties that we have. The good news is that there are things that we can do. So diagnosis helps, obviously. Developing some knowledge and having a plan, knowing about ADHD, knowing or planning how we're going to manage it, having strategies to manage the individual difficulties that we experience. I also believe it's important to have a team when you're managing your ADHD. So the team can be a combination of your treating medical professionals, family and friends, with a caveat that they would need to be supportive, family and friends, as we know some are not. Psychologists or therapists, support groups, and I think importantly, an ADHD coach, because they can help you work through all of the issues that you raise at your pace, at your direction, and work out the specific strategies and steps that you might need to take to overcome the difficulties that ADHD presents for you. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for listening, everybody, and I'll be doing some more videos, and I hope you'll join me. Thank you.